Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Car Manufacture, where we're now watching these vast quantity of vehicles making their way off the factory floor onto the sales area. Now, we're doing pretty good. All right, we're doing pretty good right now. We've got 1.6 million in the bank. We've got lots of vehicles available to sell. And the brand recognition is now up to 17,000 big ones. The popularity of the vehicles is closing in on 1,000, which is really good. We've got 2 new vehicles that we can now start selling, and we are pretty much ready to produce our 4th vehicle. Things couldn't be going any better for your boys' company of Fool Motors. Now, in the last episode, I kind of mentioned we're going to walk away slightly from the Volkswagen. I know some of you guys are kind of upset right now, but a lot of you guys are excited because it does open up the opportunities for now naming some new vehicles. And the vehicles in question, we've got this bad boy, the Finny. Now, this, I got to do the right capitalization, the Finny, guys, which is basically the Mini. This is an interesting one. Now, this would have been called the Volkswagen in the past. In that whole line, I've always called them Volkswagens, but, you know, it's now kind of starting to get to the point where I'm recognizing more and more vehicles, and I kind of want to give them cool little names. So this is the Volkswagen Mini, the Finny. Lovely. Lovely. I could actually call it the Volkswagen Finny. We'll call it the Volkswagen Finny. It's still... No, because the whole point is to come away from it. We know it's a Volkswagen. It's the Volkswagen Finny. There we go, guys. And then we got this vehicle, which I'm not exactly too sure what to call it. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? I can't quite figure out what vehicle that is in real life. I can't quite figure it out. So I'm just going to give it, to me, I'm getting the Porsche vibes. I don't know why. It's not a Porsche, I don't think, but that's the kind of vibes I'm getting. So I'm going to call it the, what is with my capitalization? The Porsche. I don't know how you spell Porsche, for cheese. Okay, it's not for cheese. I could call it the, I could call it the Folio. I'm going to call it the Folio X, because we haven't seen a Folio in quite some time, so I'm just going to call it that, a fastback vehicle. And then in the background now, we'll get the next variation of that line. Wow, look at that one. Oh, what vehicle does that remind me of now? Oh, I'm trying to think what vehicle that reminds me of. It's not another Cadillac, is it? But we'll get that researched, and then this here is going to research the next variation, which that's the new DBF that we've been producing. That is 100% the new DBF. So let's get this up and running then. There's a few vehicles. We're going to change some of the current lines over to the new vehicles, but let's produce the Finny over here. Now, we've got to get a lot of stuff here set up for it. So let's start then with the beginning, which is the big chunky parts. And then what we do is we then run robotic arms going through the rest of it. And then we'll come back and fine-tune it once we've got the vehicle on. Alright, I have to delete one of those arms. Alright, it's a bit time-consuming, but we will get there. Alright, last one's now just here. Very good. Very good, very good, very good. Right, this one here, we'll just quickly delete. Now, we're going to set on this line the Finny. Now, we're currently producing the Cadillac, the Fasten, and the Volkswagen 3. These 3 vehicles here. We've got 4 new vehicles that we could work with. But we're going to drop the Finny on this line. And then we're going to have to quickly put everything in its order. There we go. There we go. So I'm trying to figure out what's the best way. I know some of it has to kind of do multiple sections. So you can do multiple sections there. Because the electrical, apparently there's no electrical in the Finny. Apparently so. And a couple of these parts need to do chunkier versions. So we need the bigger robotic arms on them. So where are we up to now then? So I think there's something else that might need to do too, unless this evens out just nicely. No, so bring you down. So what does, or what can do? Lights. We'll do the lights on too. That works out perfectly fine for us. So, looking at it then, we need to kind of fine tune it. So I know the station 16, so that's 1, 2, that's 5, 10, 15, 16 down here. If you were to create an order here, okay, the hoods aren't really that big, so that's fine on that line. What was the other big one that we're going to have to kind of, is it body elements? There was something that was going to have to be quite big and chunky. Body frame, so 5, 6, 7, 7 and 8. No, you're fine. I think because it's a small car, I think we're going to be okay. But we'll fine tune it as we go along. So we've got all this stuff set up. We're going to set auto parts in robots to evenly split. And then multiply all orders to filter max. Okay? So just initially, before we put that into production, we're going to allow our transporters to fill up the robotic arms, which is now going to spread my transporters so much more thinner than what they currently are right now. And then we'll also set up a new sales area down here to start kind of building up the hype for the Finny. So when we do have some vehicles to actually sell, there is some glorious hype available for them. So do my usual suspects of 250. That's actually quite a lot of money we're going to make from the Finny. So it's already building up a bit of hype anyway. We'll pay for some advertising. But I won't release it just yet. We'll save that releasing. We'll save the releasing. So, obviously, with all my transporters now filling up all of this, it now spreads them even more thin than what they originally was. Which is crazy. Are we producing... We can start producing the new Cadillac in reality. So what I'll do is I'll stop production of this. And then once that's all done, we'll then get rid of it all and then kind of get that all set back up onto the new one. So let this now continue. So you can tell what's not evenly split or what's not split between two by what they don't fill. Like this one doesn't take anything on board. So to be honest with you, I don't need it to because there's so many it's going to be held in that one. But you got to check all the others. So that doesn't need it in reality. That doesn't need it in reality. This doesn't need it. I'm looking at the weight of the objects. But this will. Now, the weight on these should be smaller than your usual suspects because it is a Finny. It's a very, very small vehicle. But if I just up this, so we've got plenty of body parts or, you know, bodies in the production line, we can then begin with that. And I think we've almost got the green light then to go. Yeah. I think we do. I think we do. So we're going to start production of the Cadillac and replace it with the Cadillac 2. So the last few vehicles on this line are now coming off. So once that one there has made it all the way through here, we'll then completely scrap this. Now, because it's just the evolution of the Cadillac, I don't think there should be anything else we need to kind of slightly change or switch. What are you doing? Wheels? You could actually do with... and what are you doing? Lights. Yeah, these two here could do with like 2 additional arms. So if I drop the one there and another one there... Yeah, that will work out pretty nice. Right, so, get rid of this. We're switching this over to the Cadillac 2, which is here. Yeah, we're going to reset the production. We're going to clear all associated orders. We're going to sell all unused parts. We're going to evenly split. We're going to multiply to max and just allow them now to fill up all the robots with the parts. Right, this is now good to go. So we can actually now press play and start producing the Finny. And this should actually produce it in quite large quantities. because of how small the initial layout is and how small the parts are in weight, we should just kind of have a consistent production line of these Finnies coming through. Which is actually really exciting. Really exciting. So let them do what they've got to do. We are building up the hype, like I said, down here. Where is it? Where is it? Down there. We've not yet released it. I'll release it when there's vehicles actually ready to sell. There's an issue here, boys. Alright, we should still be okay. This doesn't have any unused sell or unused parts. So what are you now missing? Ah, okay, the part just came in. See, that's the issue. When now they're spread so thin over now 4 areas, other areas in our production line kind of take the hit. So you just gotta wait for them to slightly catch up in many ways. Right, we're still waiting to sell all these Fadalacs then. There's not that many now remaining. And then we'll switch the sales area over here onto it. The Finnies still not yet released, but... Oh, wow, okay. So they're already coming off the production line. That's amazing. Now, this should be set up for anything less than excellent. It's sent to the repair workshop, which it is. And now we can officially start selling them. So we'll wait for a few more to be parked up. In the meantime, we're going to start producing the Fadalac 2. Get that underway. Now, I feel like this here, that is like nearly 3 times the weight of the Finnies. So it can only ever have 11 in stock. So ideally, you would want to put another one down. So let's quickly do that. And then set its order. So there's always 22 then ready and available to start producing. Right, let's go. Or I think that's the magic number, right? Should be the magic number if it's all kind of fully stocked up. So by the time they are now being parked on the forecourt, we should have sold all the remainder of the Fadalacs, which is only 3 now remaining. Right, the Finnies are coming in hot and heavy. And we've got to sell those last few remaining Fadalacs. We'll now release the Finny. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Start selling them, boys. Start selling those Finnies. Only 1 Fadalac now remaining. As the first one is not that far off from coming off the production line. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go now. Oh, it's a nice, beautiful red colour, baby. That's what we like to see on the Fadalacs. Right, Fadalacs are all now sold. So, with them now all being sold, we're going to change this vehicle over to the Fadalac 2. Bam. And we put our 250 mark. 3 grand. Yes, please. Nice, nice, nice. And is that released, by the way? It is released, isn't it? Yes. Marketing. Activate. Oh, the marketing. And just let them sell. So it's always slow start off when you've got a new vehicle. I think we need to stop production right now of this. So this is the Volkswagen 3. So we could replace it with the Volkswagen 4. But technically the Volkswagen 5, technically, right, is the Mini. So I could kind of start producing the Folio X in reality. Or we wait until one of these vehicles down here, which is the Aston Martin DBF 2, which would actually replace on this line. So I could start producing the Folio X. Right, we'll stop the production anyway because we've got a lot to sell. We've got plenty of time to think anyway what we want to do. We've got plenty of time to think. There's no pressures right now. There's no pressures. But the Volkswagen, in terms of sales, consistently doing okay. You're doing okay. The Finny sold 7 in its first month. The Fadilac is now coming in. So it all comes down to just having enough production numbers. And this is now going through the system. So this is a nice even setup in reality, which is great. But now we got 4 lines on the go, kind of. Well, actually 3 because we slowed down 1. But having 4 lines, it does then spread our workers a lot more. Right, let's see if we can make this system here more efficient. So what do they... What do they have? There is 1, 2, 3, 4... There's 5 areas here. So if we can split these a bit more evenly. So 1, 2, and then the 5th one there. And then if we say to this, so this is going to kind of mess us up slightly. So you do this one. Place order. You do that one, place order. You do that one, place order. You do that one, place order. And then you do that one, place order. And then on the line itself, we multiply all orders to fill to max. That then has filled them all to max. So fingers crossed. Oh, and also then sell all unused parts in the robots that don't need to be there. Once they fill these up right now, it should then start producing a little bit faster. You could argue the same thing over here. The kind of same thing needs to happen on the fenders. But that's just abominated that. Which is wild. Only when it's got the parts, though. And that's the difference. Only when it's got the parts. But there's a lot of parts for this vehicle, though, isn't there? So that's why it kind of is getting backlogged so much. Dude's coming in right now carrying the world on his shoulders. But you can see how quick it now produces the parts for the vehicle. Yeah, that's wild, isn't it? It's crazy how you can fine-tune it just right. Right, this is the Fasten DBF2, because it's the you know, Aston Martin DB. Is it? I always get confused. Is it the DBR, DBA? I can't remember what it is. Well, it was Fasten DBF. F stands for Folio 2. Nice. And then can I make that research the next vehicle under wraps? That's a Jaguar. That's a Jaguar if I've ever seen one, boys. That is a Jaguar if I've ever seen one right now. I think it is anyway. Yes. Is it the F-Type or something like that? I can't remember. I literally cannot remember right now. But this whole line here could now technically be switched over to the Fasten DBF2. Now, we've got so many of these green cars. We're producing the Mini like crazy. Okay, the Mini's getting held up here. So what is this line? This is panels again. So we quickly sort this out. It's free, isn't it? So if I do 2 on each, we can blitz through this system. So you're going to do the first one. Place order. You're going to do the first one. Place order. You're going to do the second one. Place order. You're going to do the second one. Place order. You're going to do the last one. Place order. You're going to do the last one. Place order. Then on the line, sell all unused parts. Multiply orders to max in the robots. And just wait for them to deliver the goods to all of these. Once they're done, we're on fire. We're on fire with this system. Alright, there you go. The Mini's coming off the production line so much quicker, which will then reveal somewhere else where it's slowing the system down. Which you can see already, it's happening just here. So what is going through this its seats. So it's either... I mean, an additional robot would make sense. It would make sense, an additional robot here. So, get it. I like these speedy ones. These are my favourite. I know there's other variations we could use, but these are my favourite. So if you're that one, I assume you're doing 2. So you get off that one. And then you do that one that's now missing. Sell unused parts, split even. There's one for each at that point. And by the looks of this is trying to do multitudes of wheels. We'll throw some help on the old wheel front. So place order, filter max. That will always have lots of wheels then available. Oh, what's your issue? Same again in reality. There's 5 on this. I mean, I'm going to be doing this to every single section eventually, aren't I? I am going to end up doing it to every single section. But it is what's slowing us down over everything else. So, this is fine-tuning and a half, isn't it, boys? Alright, bam, bam. That's 5 on that whole system. So, you do number 2. Place order. You do number 1. Place order. You do number 3. Place order. You do number 4. Place order. And then you do number 5. And then we clear unused parts. Set to max. And then hopefully we fine-tuned the thingy enough that it just flies off the line. Now, I've got a feeling over here. Trunk 1. Yeah, it should be fine, right? We'll soon find out where the weak spot is. But again, it all comes down to transporters. We just need so many more transporters. That's all it comes down to, I'm afraid. Right, this next vehicle gets done instantly. Done instantly. Off it now goes until all the parts run out in the robotic machine. That's a bit nicer, isn't it, boys? So we've run out of parts in this one right now. So it just comes down to deliveries at this point, doesn't it? Right, but even if we did produce more, we've got a backlog. Right, the green cars are almost all sold out anyway, and we was going to switch over we were going to switch over the Fasten line, wasn't we? So we'll stop the production of that. We've now got a new vehicle here, which I recognize this vehicle, but for the life of me, I can't figure out what vehicle it is. But I still want to say it's a Cadillac. But I feel like it's not. Do I call it the Cobra 2? I'm going to call it the Volkswagen Cobra 2. It's a sport roadster. And it goes based off the previous Cobra that we created, which was down here. It looks like a variant of that, so that's why we've called it the Volkswagen Cobra 2. So we're going to produce the Fasten DBF2, and we're going to produce the Cobra 2 next as well. So, wow. Look at that beauty. Get you researched, please. What vehicle is that, guys? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the comment section down below. Right, we're going to change the vehicle here first. We'll build the Cobra on this one. So we'll clear on a set, clear parts, set to split, set to max, and go. Go on that. We still got a few greenies to sell. So we're just playing the waiting game on this one. That's going to stop production as well. And we probably need to slow down on the mini production. We do get quite a lot of cash from it though, so that's kind of good. That is kind of good. Is there a lot of finnies on the forecourt right now? There's a fair few that can be sold, which is great. And I'm starting the production of this when I don't have all the parts in, so I'm going to quickly pause it until all the transporters have caught up with all the part deliveries. Now, the only truly way to make this as efficient as you can is to technically have, right, these robotic arms on every section, like this. Because then when you do the evenly split ones, on parts that have a multitude of pieces, it instantly gives them more area to work with. So you know like how I've had to add more to the finny ones? Now all of a sudden, I can manually do it across the whole board. So I'm going to do it here and see what happens. So I added 2 more there because the way that's set up. And then you can go for chunkier boys. They have a bit more capacity, but again, you're looking at weight. So you might as well go for... I mean, it's more to stock up with, and that is like overwhelming there. But I want to test it. I want to see how different it's going to kind of be. So this is now finalized the last DBF. So we get the DBF2 on the go. So clear all orders, sell all unused parts, auto split, maximize to fill, and then wait for them to fill all that up before we then start producing it. So we've transformed quite a few vehicles now. That looks like it's got the green light to then go. So you can see there's only one part on that. I'm wondering if I do the same here. Like invest a bit more cash into these robotic arms. Because the vehicles are getting more and more complex. And like I said, we might not use all of them. But some vehicles will require us to use multiple in a certain area. And it just covers our backs ever so slightly. So if I now just clear all orders, sell all unused parts, even split, and fill to max. Alright, I'm having them redo it all over again, which is completely fine. It does up our power though, so we do need some more generators. We do need lots more generators at this point. Again, it's a little bit of an interesting one. You know what I mean? It's very interesting to see how this divides itself. Because these are filled up with 4. That one's only 1. That one's gone 2. That one's gone 4, 3, 2, 1. So it works in some areas, doesn't work in others. Interesting. Very interesting. So this line is good to go then. We can actually now press start on that production line, and that will just go through it. We should still wait for that to kind of catch up with itself. And again, same issue over here. So let's go a little bit crazy. So this is costing me an absolute fortune right now, but investing into the factory like this does mean that we can produce vehicles in large quantities a whole lot quicker. And when eventually the developers update the game to include the update that allows us to transport the parts to these without people, then I'm going to be so happy that I've already invested into my production line like this. Right, I'm now back below 1 million in the bank. Right, so clear all orders, sell all unused parts, split, fill to max. Right, it's completely thrown off the whole production line and what's now going to happen, but it will eventually catch up. Actually, do you know what I could do? I could pause it until it does catch up. Right, is this good to go? Yes, let's start the production on this. So this area here has nothing to create, so it just flies through that. Again, it's all car dependent. Some cars have the parts, some cars don't. So it's all dependent on the vehicle. How many of the Finny have we sold now recently? 7 in that 1 month, which is great. So has all the green cars now gone? The green cars are gone. The DBFs have now gone. So the green car here becomes the Cobra 2. So we increase the percentage profits on this to 250. Release you. And it's got all the promotion. No, it hasn't. Let me activate all the promotion. And then the Fasten, we change you to the brand new Fasten 2. There we go. That's a good profit margin. Very good profit margin. Activate all this. Release. So release both of them. You should be able to start selling them as soon as they get onto the forecourt. Did they manage to catch up over here yet? I'm going to say yes, even though I'm not too sure, but we'll get the Cadillacs back into production. Very good, very good, very good, very good. But yeah, the durability in those parts is wild. This is the one where they get the chassis from. So it just takes a little bit longer than usual. Luck of the draw, I suppose. Luck of the draw. Luck of the draw. Right. We are tearing through this right now. So many more vehicles are being produced. There's so many minis on the line as well. It's terrifying how many there is. How much are we now spending on thingy? Oh, wow. Okay, let's get some more generators. We're spending nearly 2 grand on power. Right, these gens, baby. Not quite in the green just yet. I want to be in the green. So, heavily future-proofed ourselves for additional production lines when we get them all set up. Right, very good, very good, very good, very good. Very good. More different types of vehicles are coming off the line. The Cobras 2's coming off the line. The Cadillac 2's coming off the line. The DBF 2's coming off the line right now. All these vehicles coming off in 2x2s. It's what we want to see. It's what we want to see, boys. So, next episode then, we've got to figure out how we can squeeze 2 more production lines here to come out of these 2 gates just there. Holy smokes, this is... I'm going to send my my transporters over the edge, aren't I? I really am. I really am going to send them over the edge. So here are my employees. Right, you can see my employees at the top of the screen right now, top left. I can only hire 100 at the moment. What numbers do you guys think I should have of each? Okay. How would you adjust and what would your final figures be for each of the employees? So just leave me a comment down below what you would change. We obviously need more transporters. I could reduce the researchers. We currently have 18. I can reduce them down to 10 as we're slowly winding down the research and production. I could increase or decrease drivers. I can increase or decrease mechanics, but I definitely need more transporters. So how would you change those numbers? Let me know in the comment section down below. But until next time, guys, as we're producing so many more vehicles, I've spent so much cash. Let me just check how much cash I've spent recently. Holy moly, that is a lot of pennies in the bank disappeared. But we are, again, a lot more productive than ever before. And we're selling vehicles like hotcakes. It's exactly what we want to see. 4 coal sold in that one, up to 5 on that one, up to 6 on that one, up to 5 on this one as well. It all depends on how quickly they come off the production line into the dealership. We might also need to start thinking about slowing down the production of the Finnies. We have a lot of them coming off the line. I'm probably going to stop and pause. No, we'll stop it just for now. Just allow those remainders to now come off. We're producing them in such vast quantities. I suppose that's the great thing when it's a vehicle that doesn't contain many parts. Guys, hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please smash that like button down below. And until next time, I will see you all soon. So goodbye.